Hello, my YouTube peoples. So, I'm getting loaded at my other location for my Sunday delivery. Got to get loaded, then take it on to the house. But so, I was going through my comments and stuff because I used to be with Warner. It, there's another shirt. Like I said, it's just a work shirt. It's just a work shirt. I got a whole bunch of these, so why ruin my shirts when I have a whole bunch of other work shirts? But anyway, so some people is just not ready to be an owner operator. And you have to realize that that's okay. Nobody says you have to get inside a truck and become an owner operator right away. Nobody says you got to get in a truck and be an owner op after your first year or within your first year or your first 2 years or your first 3 years. There's no time period because what happens is you have people who wants to be an owner op but still have a company driver mentality, and that's never gonna work as an owner op. When you get to the point where you want to be an owner op, you have to know in your head that you're gonna have to spend money. There's no scenario where you're gonna be able to be an owner operator and not spend money. There's just no way. Okay, I don't know what business that you start that you're not gonna spend money. In every business that you start, you're gonna spend money in every single business that you start. And it may be some times where you'll spend money and you don't make no money. It may be times where you spend money and it takes a while to get your money back that you have spent. When everybody's talking about come up with a business plan, that's part of being a business plan. When you're doing your business plan, when you're thinking about becoming an owner op, you have to include all your bills, your home bills, all your bills. How much you gonna put into a maintenance account, savings account for the business. You have to include every single thing. And then that's when you start trying to find a job, or if you plan on leasing on to somebody, ask plenty of questions. What is your total deductions that I'm taking out? Now, if you got a truck payment, you got to include the truck payment inside those particular total deductions. Okay, and now you got to see, okay, this is my projected amount that I bring home a week. This is my projected bill amount that I have. So you have to project those. You have to project what if fuel is high. I can't project fuel at $2.41. I have to look at the trends. And each year you can go to the average cost of fuel between a certain amount of months. And it shows you the fluctuation of the fuel. So you have to think about fuel as well. What I mean by a lot of people want to be an owner op with a company driver mentality is because they want to get one of these new trucks, like have a full maintenance where that they just driving. And in the company, you could have had a company truck and you could have been driving that company truck and doing nothing but oil changes for 8 months straight, 8, 9 months straight. The only thing you had to do was oil changes. So now you think you're gonna get a truck, and the only thing you're gonna have to worry about is some PMs. It don't, man, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. It really don't, because when you go out and you get your own truck, you have to face your own music. You go out and get a brand new truck, well, you paying about $3,000 to $3,500 a month on that truck. Whether the truck is in the shop or not, you still gonna make that $3,500 monthly payment. right? And if you leased on to somebody, you're gonna have to still make those deductions along with that 3,500. So you are already gonna be about 4,500 bucks, you know, for the month, just in business expenses. Even if that truck do not move whatsoever. And you got to remember, you're not making money, but you're gonna come out the pocket that $4,500, right? You don't have nothing to worry about because you got a warranty, but you still come out of pocket that $4,500, whether you move that truck or not. It's gonna cost. So you got to think about all that inside your business plan. You get a place where, hey, my truck payment ain't nothing but like $600 a week. Good luck finding some places like that. But even if that was so, you still looking at $2,400 for the month plus your deductions. So you still looking at about $3,500 at least for the month. See? So you still got to have money regardless, whether you have a warranty on your truck or not. Okay, this here cash truck thing, okay, it's still the same thing. I have a cash truck. I do. I have good months. The only thing I have to do for the month is a PM. That's it. I go out, spend $345. That's all I spent on my PM. Then the next month I have something that I got to fix or something that I just want to replace just because wear and tear. Things that I'm looking at, certain things that I just want to do because I don't want to be broke down on the side of the road. While you doing pre-trips and every week I do an extensive look over my truck from bumper to bumper and I see certain things, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that before this happens. Well, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that before that happens. I look at hoses, I look at all that particular stuff. I try to think if I was a DOT officer, and I'm inspecting this, do this look out of place? Would I look at this and really say, okay, let me really take a look at this. Let me really take a look at this. There's certain stuff that you got to plan for. Like my front brakes is starting to get low. So I know that, hey, I'm going to have to replace my front brakes. The drums still look good because the drums ain't up but like a year old. But I'm going to have to replace my front brakes. I have enough brake pads thickness left, probably to last about 6 months, another 6, 7 months. But I know by just looking at them all the time that, okay, I'm going to have to replace my front brakes. So since I'm going to have to replace my front brakes, well, I know I can just go ahead and start saving up money and go get the front brakes, after I save up my maintenance account again. But, brakes, it's not that much for some brakes. You're looking at maybe $50, $60 a wheel. So it's not that much. It really isn't that much. But, just looking at stuff like that, okay, I already know I needed some front brakes. And I took a real good look at them when I was getting new steer tires put on. So, when they had the rims and everything off, I was able to take a real good look at the brakes and look at the drums and everything like that. Just say that, okay, hey, I'm going to need that. So I know next year sometime when I'm doing my next year yearly budget, I need to budget all that particular stuff in. When I'm looking at my engine and everything like that, certain parts are just getting old and you can just see the wear on. I'll say, well, I might as well go ahead and start getting some things like that. So I already know I'm going to put another $1,500 into the truck, just replacing some things that it don't need to replace, but I don't want to be broke down on the side of the road, with things like that. Stuff starts to wear. I start to see some moisture coming. It's no really leaks, but it's not supposed to be wet. So I know it's leaking a little bit, but it's not a big particular leak. So I see all that particular stuff, like my piston cooler jets, right? I'm starting to see a little wetness around my piston cooling jets. Some of y'all may know what that is. Some of y'all may not. But that's a very inexpensive. It's like $5 per jet. You got six of them, so probably $35, $36 in parts. There's only one boat that holds them on. It's not that hard to do. You pull them, you pop them out, you put you push it back in, you screw it back in. But anyway, I see little things like that. Just really, really looking over the truck, and you start to see things. But some of y'all with this company driving mentality, you don't think you're supposed to spend any money. But when you have to spend money, you're like, oh, I got to spend money. Yeah, you have to spend money inside this business. Every business you have to spend money. And like I was saying before, my 19 years being a chef, running restaurants, doing budgets, declining budgets, performers, you know, each month you have to budget repair and maintenance inside your P&L budget. You're going to spend some money in repair and maintenance. You have to get certain things done. Maintenance. I mean, I had to have people come in and service stuff. They took stuff apart. They replaced little parts. I had to include all that inside my budget, inside of a maintenance budget. You're not just saving up maintenance and then not doing any maintenance on your truck. You have to do maintenance on your truck. That's part of doing business. So you do your projected sales or your gross revenue for the month minus your projected non-controllables, because you got to think about all your non-controllables and put in a budget for non-controllables for each category. Say, hey, okay, I'm going to have to spend this much amount of money in repair and maintenance this month. Okay, let me just budget for $700 for repair and maintenance. And then let me budget for the PM for the month. Okay, $350. Okay, I don't need no filters this month, no air filters or anything like that, cabin filters. So it's just going to be $350. Or next month I'm going to need them, so I got to pull that particular stuff up. You have to budget for that, so it's not a surprise. So that's how it got to be. So sometimes you got to be smart with stuff, okay? You really got to be smart with things. Because when you have all this stuff going on, I'm sorry, I had a phone call. When you budgeting things, you see that, okay, this is all part of my budget. Cool. And say this particular week, you spent some money in those particular categories, whatever it is, right? That's when your declining budget come in. Because now you minus the amount that you spent in those particular categories, and it tells you how much money you have left in those particular category for the month. It tells you your remaining amount that you have based off of what you have budgeted for. And you may not spend no more money in your non-controllables. So now at the end of the month, when you're doing your numbers, you're like, okay, I was under budget. I had a good month. I made more money than I thought I was going to make because I had spent less money in my non-controllables. You can't do nothing with your fixed costs. Your fixed cost is your fixed costs, right? So you only control your non-controllables. And that's what declining budgets is. So each week you're doing a declining budget. You see where you at. You see if you are on target to meet your budget, or if you under, or if you over. Because now if you went over on certain categories, but you way under on other categories, now you can look at that. Now that same amount of money is still the same that you're projecting to spend. But sometimes it may come up over that because you didn't spend a certain amount of money in other things. Because, okay, you didn't get that many truck washes and everything that you budgeted for because of rain or whatnot. So that money that you set aside, that you had in the budget for truck washes, well, now you have in your pocket because you didn't do anything because of all this particular stuff. You budgeted $1,700 for fuel and death, right? For each week. But now you're only spending like $1,500, $1,300. So now by the end of the month, you under budget that you budgeted for fuel and death. You have to look at your numbers. And that's how you run a business. That's when you do a business plan. Plan everything out. Know what you're getting into. So that way you it's not going to come to a surprise. All right. Now, when you have a catastrophic repair, you didn't have money saved up for that for each month. Say, for instance, like I just spent a little bit over $10,000, right? But that happened 11 months since I got this truck. So, say I was saving $1,000 per month, right? Just for a catastrophic, just save $1,000 per month. That's $250 a week that you put in a different account, and you just saving just for a catastrophic thing. It shouldn't be every 6 months, 7 months that you're going through this, right? So now that's $1,000 a month. Now 11 months into me having a business, that's $11,000. I just spent $10,000. I had enough money to cover all my expenses that I need off this catastrophic breakdown. What's $250 when you going from making as a company driver $1,400 to $1,600 a week to making $2,500 to $3,000 a week? Why you can't put an extra $250 a week into a maintenance where you don't touch whatsoever? So my maintenance account, I didn't go inside my maintenance account for every single thing that happened. I went through the company profits and just paid for them cash. Sometimes when I needed a trailer tire, right? Okay, $319. I just paid for it out of the company and just put it to my repair and maintenance. I didn't use my maintenance fund for a tire. Didn't use my maintenance fund for PMs. Every time I had got tires done, I didn't use my maintenance fund. I just took the money straight out of the business profits. So you don't have to use your maintenance fund for everything. Let it build up for a while so you actually have some money into it. Because now my next catastrophic will be a M-frame on the engine, or my next big one will be my differentials going out. Differentials would be about $4,000. N-frame on my particular truck, I can't talk about y'all, but on my particular truck would be about another $10,000 to N-frame my truck. So you're looking at, okay, I need to be at least $16,000 to cover everything that may happen on my truck. Catastrophic. So long as I got $16,000, I have enough for differentials if I need that to get done. I have enough for an N-frame if that needs to be done. So I have everything covered that needs to be done. So that's what I'm working on, building back up that fund to make sure I have enough money to cover any of my catastrophic things. Now I'm planning on $250 a week coming out, but I also know that, hey, I need to put money to the side, set it aside in the business, so that way if anything happens, I have the money for it and I can keep moving on. It's just a part of doing business. You can't love the fact that you're making more money and hate the fact that you got to spend some money to keep your business going. You're going to have to spend some money to keep your business going. Okay? It's a business. You operating a business. Okay? A trucking company. You operate a trucking company. That's just how it is. You got to realize that. It's a business. So business has business expenses. You can't take all your money and be like, whew, I made $2,800 this week. No, the business made $2,800. How much do you get paid out of your business? So how much are you paying yourself? You shouldn't be paying yourself the whole $2,800. And now that you making money, you ready to go out and get all this and stuff, but you keep forgetting that, hey, the business is going to have breakdowns. You're going to need money for the business. Pay yourself a reasonable amount. So if you was making $1,300 as a company driver, go ahead, give yourself a little raise. Pay yourself $1,700. That's an extra $400. The rest of the money that you make, just put it to your business and just keep it there. Because you have to realize, again, hey, I'm running a business. It's going to take money for business. All right? Y'all have to take it easy. Be blessed.